I'm from a farmer lumber mill guy back in Western New York, humble guy, worked hard to get where we are at. Had a lot of good people, a lot of good help. A lot of good people got me here. It's just hard work and dedication. It was just many years of, I can do this, or, goals, dreams. We still never expected at one time in life to ever get up to 8 championships. We're at 97 career event wins right now. So it's pretty cool, and that's with ATPA, Lucas Oil. Back years ago, I can't say it's U.S. Hot Rod, but it was the indoor series. Event wins there, drew one series in the winter against Paul Norman or Mike Piper, Dave Walsh and I in a pull-off one time. It was just cool stuff. It would just be a local event, Langford, right in our hometown. Yeah. And it just, I remember between intermission, I would go home and play in the sandbox at 7, 8 years old. And then it was time to go back to the pool and stay up there till 11, 12 at night, and it was cool, and then as years went on, and then at age 15, probably, I believe, is when I purchased a single engine Economod, and again, with friends and help, and had no idea what we're getting into, got involved and built Economod, and like everybody ran a big block Chevrolet because it was simple. Turbo 400 transmission, had to be an Oliver International kind of rear end of a tractor, built into a set of frame rails, and it was a really competitive class. There was 8, 9 of us. I finished 9th for the year, so we were really on top, but it was good because it again, it Ashtabula, Ohio was my first event. I didn't have a driver's license. I bought a $500 school bus, tore the seats out of it, put a tractor in the back, and that's what the guys do. So it would have been New York State Tractor Puller Association, at the time, or Western New York. Yep, it was good, and I went to a twin engine tractor, and it was just good to have something competitive at the time. Be 2 supercharged motors, and this is cool. This tractor was I bought from Bob Moore, which the tractor was purchased from Freddie Freeman. And now that tractor was the old mean mistreater from way back. 45 years ago probably. And Tim Engler built that tractor for him. Tim helped him build it, but it wasn't a total Engler chassis, but it had old John Deere skidder rear end in it and stuff. And so that was really cool to have something like that to compete with. So we had 2 supercharged big block Chevys with a natural aspirated up top. But we pulled New York State Fair and any of the big pulls. I remember Hamburg, New York, they were short of tractors. They paid 15 spots. They only had 8 or 9 tractors. And we said, we're going to go to Syracuse and we're going to run to the big money. And I remember I finished 31st out of 32 tractors. One went out of bounds. And they paid 15. So we still didn't make no money that day. But, our career, we went backwards more, we went forward. And, we've been pretty successful towards the end here, but, we're just happy to be out here. We love our competitors. Just all the people that I met, not only the fans or the competitors, but all the fans. And, every town we go to, we know somebody or and watch their family grow and children and, and people come and gone, passed on, whatever, and so it's just made a big tree of people that, the sport itself is just a really, after being at drag racing and stuff like that, you can appreciate going back to a good tractor pull and how humble these people are and grassroots, I never forget grassroots, and you just gotta respect people and be nice to people, and I think that's important to make any sport grow, but yeah, the pulling, it's been a good career, going on 36 years, we had one point which say we hit our 100th win, we'd quit, but we ain't gonna quit for a while. We're here, we got good sponsorship on that tractor, we like representing good companies, it's, we have nowhere to go, and we want to stay here and just keep going and enjoy it, and when we can't compete anymore because of technology or whatever, then we'll look at it a different way. But right now I feel like we could still be a top 5 tractor. Well, Ralph Banter, when they quit pulling in 96, in 97 is when Ralph went on the road with me for 3 years, and I told the story last night at a restaurant. Ralph was harder on a guy, and everybody could agree with me that's been around. He was such a strong believer in this tractor pulling. This is the way it's got to be done. And I'd never got heads with him or doubt anything he would do, but I would always listen to what he had to say. And if you couldn't hit it right the first or second time, boy, he would scold you for it. We won pulls. We started winning quite a bit,
Yeah.
God, I remember him, on the way home, he wouldn't talk for an hour and a half, and I'd be like, God, we won the pull. And he said, that's not what we were after. He said, we were after to win the pull, but he said, when I tell you, you got to stay on that left sideline and run it all the way down through it and hold it 4 inches from the chalk, that's where I want you to finish. And, he was awesome. Tim Engler was awesome. We ran the Tim Engler chassis back in 91. Tim built the tractor for me. I had 4 and 5 Chevrolets on it. That started out to be a really good run, and then Ralph Banter said, we could get you down the track further with less, so that was his selling point. And so I thought that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we'll try a wedge frame, and so all said and done, we worked with everybody. We never burned a bridge. We can still talk to anybody, and that's what's good. And anybody on that tractor, I let Modern Machine, that's the same tractor I built a few years ago, the 75th edition. It's same frame rails and stuff, but I let Modern Machine, Brad Corporal, which is Ralph Banter's nephew, I had 21 changes on a piece of paper that I wanted to put into a tractor after we won a championship that year. We cut that tractor up, and I said, this is what I want. Everything that was a pain in the butt, boy, I wish we could have a motor that would, if things were angled like this, we could get in and loosen that up. Or the big thing now is rear ends. I can have the rear end out of that tractor and back in about 35 minutes, so everything's made for if something fails. And I let Brad just take off with it, and he did a hell of a job. They're just number one. So that's cool. So I call this the Ralph Banter Full Circle Tractor is what it was. I started out with Ralph Banter, and we went all the way around the big circle. We come back, and his Brad nephew is, here today to, basically, carry the torch and keep it rolling. I had a 21 straight wins with NTPA and Lucas Oil at the time. That was year to year. It was Toma, Wisconsin, all through an entire season, and then Toma, Wisconsin again. And then Friday night in a pull-off against Doug Downs and I believe Steve Bollinger, 100 foot out, tractor picked up, right to check. I wasn't being cocky, but that's where that tractor was. The odd couple. It was the baddest tractor I ever had, That one ain't too far behind it. Yeah. And, but anyways, the rear end come out of it, the pinions come out of it, and it come crashing down, and it was a game changer. It just, we got so comfortable with the tractor that when it did go into, a trauma like that, it tore itself up, and it took a while to get it fixed up. So I always took the time to, make time for that little guy or whatever, and I know how hard it took for me with no money to get started, and I'd like to say that if there's anybody that needed help and was serious to get going, I'd do anything to help them and, to get them going in the sport so we could keep the future rolling, and it's turned into a huge money sport now, and unfortunately that's racing, and, so now, I remember I had about $11,000 my first tractor.
Total.
I've been through, Tim Engler, Banter Brothers, all them really good guys, and they taught me so much and how hard they worked to get there. And now, I'm trying to carry this tradition on that them guys handed the torch down to, and now, you take like Ricky Rose, you got Jeff Rose is now taking over the driver's seat. Steve Bollinger's boy, so I'm starting to see these little ones, Tommy Owens, letting his boy Dylan there, and that's great. His dad Tommy Owens, was a guy I looked up to, and then and now Teddy, so it's been quite a ladder of people, but as age clicks on, you start to look at it, where are you gonna go with this? What are you gonna do? So I just hope the sport, continues on with the new young growth. And fans keep coming back to see it.